Progress Racing. Show us your tips. Dagster with you, flying solo, trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit after managing to record last night's show without any audio. So that was a real treat this morning. So Beaver's away for the week. He did join me last night and left a few of his tips, which I've managed to salvage from my lip syncing efforts. But we're going to look at Randwick and Moonee Valley today, share some of his thoughts where I can, and hopefully still find a winner or two on the weekend. We're at Randwick tomorrow on a good fall. The rail moves to the 3 metre mark, and not a bad car to racing. So we'll get into it now. It does kick off with the 2-year-olds over the 1,200 metres, in fact, where I am going to start the day with Denman Star. I think it's been pretty tough in all its efforts to date. Just nosed out in the death last time out Warwick Farm. Shortish but turnaround, comes here, gets Chad Schofield, who's riding all right at the moment. And I think up on pace, he's going to give you a nice sight. Probably just camp behind what could be a reasonable pace. Main danger I had listed as Infatuation, who the door shut on last time, and was unlucky. But I think that raced form's just a bit stronger than any of the unraced brigade there. So sticking with it. Good luck to a couple of friends of the show, Johnny and Blocky, who have a share in it. So hopefully for them, they're in the winner's circle this time tomorrow afternoon. The second is a highway, which neither of us had too many thoughts on. A typical deep highway, which I'm going to probably avoid there. The third is a 1,300 metre benchmark 72, where I'm pretty keen on the chances here of Garza Blanca. Was given none last start on a leaderish track, jagged right back and flashed home, just missed. But I think comes to a weaker affair here, and hopefully sits a little bit closer for Brenton Avdulla, and clearly the horse to beat. Talented horse. It's going to take some beating in this field. If I had to find it a danger, I was thinking perhaps Operative can tick away with the right run. Karen going on. Well, certainly a jockey change. Anyway, the fourth, and Beaver as well was keen on Garza Blanca in that one. The fourth was an 1,100 metre benchmark 78, where he was keen on the chances of Pretty Wild, second up here. I know a bit of a gap between runs, but he thought it would run well, and I tend to agree. I think around the $4 mark's a reasonable bet here. Potentially best horse in this race, and looks set up well here. From Starberetta, who was given not much of a chance last time out, did beat home Pretty Wild on that occasion, and I think again can run well at a double figure price. And obviously Pokari Kari, the other danger in the market there, chugged along in a couple of trials, and Ash is stuck first up, and he's alive in this field. The fifth is the Midway, where I'm just checking now if there's been any further scratchings. I'm going to stick with a couple down the bottom of the market, assuming they both start here, and both at a reasonable price here. Liberty Sun and Broken Arrows. I was with them both last time out. One set outside lead, and one had to carry Karen McAvoy. So finished second and third in that race. We'll see the winner of that race start favourite in the last later in the day. But I think they both run well here. One's $15, one's $12. And in a tricky field, that's the way I'm going to play. From perhaps Intaid Format, who has some reasonable lines around the midweek stuff. They're very impressive win last time. Winnable race here, but a typical deep midway field. The sixth is a benchmark 100 over the mile, where Jojo as a man returned to form, as we sort of suggested it might last time out. Gets a nice run in this field, not a great deal of pace. It's in a nice stalking position, perhaps behind Steely and Purple Sector, if Nash decides to take it up there. Maybe a good jockey change for Purple Sector, but sticking with Jojo, off the breakthrough, quick back up, a number of ticks there, and around the $4, I think it's a nice price, and Beaver agreed with me. So we're both in the top weights camp there. The seventh was a 2,000 metre benchmark 78, where I had enough, or have had enough of this Sydney form. So when looking to the Melbourneites, Matron Bullwinkel was elected to stay down at the Valley, and it'll be hard to beat there. So I'm sticking with Ain't No Deal Done. Zach Lloyd goes on. A nice searching run last time out, just missed at the Hillside. We saw Right You Are come out and win again last week. So as Frank, that form I think fits well here. And I didn't really want to talk about too much else. Tony B was on top for Beaver. Like the Sydney lines there. Thought it gets the right run here in an average staying contest. The eighth is a benchmark 78 over 1100 metres, where I liked the first up effort of Vowmaster. Just missed ducking and weaving and producing a nice sprint off a long break there. Look, does have to take on a bit of second up syndrome perhaps, but I think it is potentially the best horse in this race and has to run well here. From Stromboli, fresh is good for it, dry is good for it. Zach Lloyd goes on. And Dehorned Unicorn, I think almost overperformed last time out chasing IME. Obvious danger as the market suggests, and that was the way the Beaver had looked. He thought Dehorned Unicorn was the best of the day for him, so that's the way he read the race. The 9th is a benchmark 78 over the mile, and it was hard to miss the first up run of Kettle Hill down south. Made about 7 runs, in fact, all of them very good, and still just missed running 4th there with very little luck up the inside. Drawn out here, hopefully the track's playing fair enough with the rail in the 3, and it can just get nice clear air. If it does, it will gobble these up, and with the stablemate Spangler coming out, keen, it's going to be very, very hard to beat here. From main danger now for me is King Rattel. Nash sticking off a win there, but it's here. It's a nice horse and it's going to run well. And we wrap the day up with the last 1300 metre benchmark 78, where I've got Show Some Decorum on top. I liked its Sydney debut off a nice win first up. I like the gate at this stage of the day. I like the fact it's around $8 or $9 now, and it's good each way play on the quick backup from last week. With Your Blessing, we'll get the franking of the form earlier through the midway, as I discussed, and the lightly raced contributing factor, who opened a big price, has been back since. Dylan Gibbons on off a quiet trial, just mowed around there and looked fine, but a lightly raced, talented horse as well. But a few other chances in a tricky race, and Beaver agreed his best value on the card was race 8, number 8, Show Some Decorum. My best value on the card was the same thing, race 8, number 8, Show Some Decorum. My best is race 3, number 2, Garza Blanca. His best was race 9, number 3, Kettle Hill. And a quick look through the Randwick Quaddie. We'll start with the first leg, 2, Ain't No Deal Done, 4, Tony B, 5, 2 Match Caviar, at least now won a race. And that'll do us for now. Second leg, 4, Dehorned Unicorn, 5, Liberty Sun if it's here. 8 Stromboli, 12 Vowmaster, and 6 Sacrimony. I'm assuming both those may start in the midway, but we'll wait and see. Both Liberty Sun and Broken Arrows. Third leg, 3 Kettle Hill, 8, 9 King Rattel at this stage. And we'll come home with 3 Bold Mac, 5 Contributing Factor, 8 Show Some Decorum, 11 Soami, 12 With Your Blessing, and 15 Bazooka. I'll throw the Bjorn in the last down bold there as well. 18 Cosmic Minerva. That wraps up the look at Randwick, a whirlwind look at it. And we're also racing at the Valley on New Year's Eve, where the rail stays in the 2 metre mark. On what's currently listed as a good track, should stay that way. Played okay the last time we were in this position, so I'm sticking with that until we see otherwise. Always a bit tricky at the Valley. We kick off with the 2-year-olds over the 1,000 in the first, and the market singled out the 2 chances clearly. Croatian Bell, nice debut. Found a line really well there. The track and distance gets Mickey D now, which is a tick for me, and it has to run well. And I've really liked the trials of Mancieri. Chugged around in a few of them. Looked sharp. The market suggests that there's the 2 chances here, and that's the way I've looked at it. Race 2 is a benchmark 84, 1,200 metres. I've been waiting for this horse to come to Saturday grade. Well, last 2 starts now, but Vermentino turns up, gets what should be a sympathetic track, gets control, and this is a nice horse. Has been backed already, just looking at this, about the $1.60 mark. I think it'll win. I had the 2 dangers, if there is any, is the Hayes pair, Sandy Prince, talented horse, and Paz Malutru, who has trialled quite well a couple of times now, first up, second prep in Oz. They'll be the only 2 I might throw into an early quaddie for a bit of value. And Beaver had the same way. He had Vermentino on top. The third, 3,000 metre benchmark 70. I let that one go through to the keeper. The fourth, a benchmark 70, 2,040 metres. comes up next, and I mentioned Matron Bullwinkel deciding to stay in Sydney this week. What am I talking about? Stay in Melbourne from Sydney, and gets a lovely race. Should from that gate get across. 2040 start has a bit to do there, but hopefully can find a nice running line position. This is a midweek race at best. It should run well here, the Bullwinkel. Around the $2.40, $2.50 mark. I think it's clearly the horse to beat. If I had to name a danger, perhaps Peter Moody, the Ancient Egypt down the bottom there, with Dan Stackhouse going on, who the Moody stable once again looked to have a great hand for the later half of this card. The fifth, benchmark 70 over the mile, was too hard for me, and I'm pretty sure the Beaver agreed, so we'll leave that one alone. The quaddie kicked off with the mile benchmark 84. I had Ride and Rose on top. Look, it's race. A slight drop in grade, and Stackhouse going on. As long as we're running on, I think can run well here again. Struggled to find too many dangers, really. Beltoro's honest and going well, needs to win one. But sticking with it, and there's a great chance the Moody stable train the quaddie this afternoon. So back end of this day, I'll be heavily invested in that. But a case was made by Beaver for Morrissey here. With the claim for Laura Lafferty, can run well at an each-way price. The seventh is a benchmark 64, where I am keen on River Noir. Chased home the stablemate well enough up the straight last time out. Hopefully can get across here and find a spot under Daniel Stackhouse again. And I thought it was pretty good. This is, again, 64 grade. It's midweek racing. This is better than that and will run well. Beaver made a strong case for Chester Warrior here, second up off a spell for the Hayes Yard. He thought can run well at a double-figure price and was his best value on the card. The eighth, the Gold Carrot, a good little sprint race, and I'm sticking with She's Dancers. I like Linda Meach. I like the inside gate. I like Getting a Tron. I like the way it brained a field last start. So lots of ticks for me. I'm with it, and I think it has to run well here. From Fishin, who's going well, has been luckless a couple of times this prep and run well in between. And obviously Fasuto resumed with a big kill at Kyneton, but I'm sticking with the proper Saturday form to stand up here. Beaver had number 4, Boldhinho, on top for the Mara and Eustace team from Fasuto. And the last is a benchmark 70, where I'm, again, with the market. Kurasha, big win at this time out, track and distance, and can do the same. We want to be running on from that gate. We want to be able to make ground, but I'm hoping can find a running long spot again and can run well here from Allegretta. Comes here, gets a claim for Carleen Heffel. Hopefully can be close enough, if good enough, and might be one for the quaddie. Pinas as well, off the short SP at the Valley. Another one at double figures. I advised him to throw in his quaddie. He had the 3 Extreme Step on top for the Hayes Yard and thought it might run well at an each-way price. In fact, that was the best value with Chester Warrior on the card. My best value on the card will be She Dances, which was an each-way price, race 8, number 8, and my value race 4, number 3, Matron Bullwinkel. Better do a Melbourne quaddie here now. Now I'm stuck with this. Let's go with first leg 3, Morrissey, 4, Munamek, Under Sufferance, 6, Ride and Rose, 8, Bel Toro. Typhoon Harmony, he's got me a bit nervous, but we'll bat on. 2, Ice Picnic, second leg. 12, Chester Warrior, 14, River Noir. Third leg, 2, Fishin, 3, Boldhinho, 4, Fasuto, 8, She Dances, and 10, Cattell. 4 and 14, Miss Magnifico. And come home with 2, Kurasha, 3, Extreme Step, 7, Allegretta, 8, Boss Queen, and 14, Panache. Let's whip through all of Saturday racing there. I've also got a few tips from Beaver up north. We know he loves betting up in Queensland. Race 2, number 1. What do we got? Race 2, number 1 is a Sovereign Fund off the nice debut for the Moody stable as we head towards Magic Moons. Good little clash of Sovereign Fund and Sun Source there. Race 3, number 8, Ghost Rider. He thinks can topple the $1.40 chance here, and is worth an each-way bet in the 3rd. In the 4th, nothing there. Race 5, number 13. What are we doing here? Where is it? Oh, race 4, number 13. Ayahuasca for Jamie Carr and Tony Gollum there. And a couple later on, he thinks You Called It can continue the Queensland Picket Fence, race 7, number 4, and wrap up the day with race 9, number 5 at a nice each-way price there. Thanks everyone that's supported us in the last 12 months. As we wrap up the card, plenty of nice emails. Money Man Rod seems to be flying at the moment. Sent a nice email the other day. But have a fantastic New Year's Eve, a fantastic New Year's. And we would talk to everyone for a midweek preview next week. Thanks to everyone at ProBrick Racing as well, Dean and Near and all the group. And, of course, thanks to Beaver, who's enjoying a well-earned holiday. Good punting this weekend. Enjoy New Year's, and we'll chat soon. See you guys.